Now let's get mad about something.
17-year-old girl stabbed in the neck in daylight in a Bearfield attack. Lancaster. What the fuck? Like, can't y'all just name it something normal? Police responded to a Wood Street. This is easy. Wood Street. Damn, guys, come on. At Briarfield at 3:06 p.m. on June 12th.
Yeah, it's a little bit too simple, Asrigal. You should be able to handle something more complex than that.
Oh, wait, it's today. It's today.
Yes.
So arresting a 30-year-old
That's how
man
news
on
works.
suspicion of attempted murder shortly after the assault. The girl received hospital treatment for injuries that are not life-threatening. While officers detained the shirtless suspect near a police vehicle, authorities are increasing patrol. This shit just happened. Authorities are increasing patrols, seeking witness footage, and prioritizing her recovery amid community concerns in the small town. Where the fuck is Burnley, Briarfield, Landshire? Where the fuck is this place? Is this in Ireland? There he is. Damn. Damn. Wow.
So many stabbings in the UK.
What a surprise. And so remember what I told y'all was going to happen again? These people can't help themselves. It's what they do. And the thing is that they don't have the impulse control to stop doing it. Even when they realize that, oh my God, the Eye of Sauron is on us, maybe we shouldn't be stabbing people in the throat anymore.
Yeah, this is just after, like, a day or two ago, someone tried to decapitate a man in the UK, which got a lot of attention. This happens just right afterwards. But Asrigal is wrong about them they should know the Iron Sauron is on them. These people don't live that way. A lot of people don't keep track of what's going on in politics. So yes, that other man tried to decapitate someone. This guy probably didn't know about it, didn't care about that. People live for today and don't follow the news. Why would they know?
They are still going to do it because they can't control themselves. Yeah, where are they from? Hey, not from Britain, I'll tell you that. Certainly not from Britain. Attempted murder arrest after girl is stabbed. Stabbed in the back of the neck. And by the way, he's 30 years old? Damn, man. Look at, God damn. He looking 45. No wonder he's mad. He's younger than me. Oh my God. Bring out the guillotine? I know. 45. Why stabbed in quotes? I don't know, because it could have been it could have been a slash, right? I'm assuming, this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming she wasn't stabbed. I'm actually assuming she was slashed. Because if you stab somebody in the neck anywhere, you'll kill them.
Yes.
All you have to do is look at the anatomy of it. Anywhere in the throat. Maybe there are a handful of hyper exceptions.
There are a few angles that you can get away. If it somehow misses artillery and the windpipe, then you might be able to survive, but it's never good. There's a lot of important things in the neck.
But if you actually take a knife, more than a 2-inch blade knife, and you stab it through a person's throat, you will kill them. They're dead. They're dead. That's it. It's over. Watch the video. She was stabbed twice. Okay, I'm going to watch the video off stream. Yeah, it's slashed because she ran away. Yeah, because if she didn't run away, the thing is that you need to cover Spencer Preston video. I'll get to that. Incoming messaging from the left. It's a matter of time. She rebuffed his advances and mocked him, so she had it coming. There are a lot of big veins in the neck area. They said it's not life-threatening. A different post, it says she's in critical condition. Well, actually, why are we even talking about this? Obviously some psycho tried to stab her in the neck, right?
That's attempted murder. Anytime you attack someone's neck with a knife, that's attempted murder. Yeah, actually, anywhere. Any knife wound can cause you to bleed out.
Whether he did stab or slash her, the intent was to kill her, right? We're splitting hairs for no reason. And so anyway, the migrant that stabbed her has now been arrested. Wow, what a surprise. Oh my God. And by the way, the footage isn't gruesome at all. She runs away. If you really got stabbed in the neck, you would not be able to run away. You would just fall down and die, just like Charlie Kirk did, right? And so that's just...
Charlie Kirk's neck exploded. It's a bullet does a lot more damage than a knife stab.
Really the truth. But I'm just not going to play the video, right? Obviously. And trying to justify third world behavior? Yeah, I guess so. Let me scroll down and find these here. And 17 has been stabbed in the neck. Holy fucking shit, man. And let me pull up Tommy Robinson. Let me see what he's saying about this. Here it is. You choke on the blood? Yeah, you do. Wait a second. Oh my god. And this was literally an hour ago. This was today.
Oh, do you see him? Hand on her back, raising the knife. Just crazy.
Man. Oh man. He really was that guy. He was. And absolutely. And where's
Yeah, people that approach women and stab them from behind. Yeah, deport them, please.
the arrest for Henry's stabbing suspect? Well, they aim to arrest the brother too. They never did that. And wow, holy fucking shit. People post the film for violence. Yeah, this is nuts, man. Holy shit. So they're really asking for a full chapter in history.
Keep them in the country. Eventually, they commit crimes like this, and we have to. Well, UK has to pay hundreds of thousands of pounds to keep them in jail, and then deport them. Deport them first, quickly. Can save a lot of money.
They are, and I think that again, I think it'll be justified if it happens. The reality,
and there'll be a lot less victims.
Is like the amount of violence and by the way, you will have another stabbing. This isn't. You think this is the last decapitation? No, this will continue to get worse and worse and worse. And so, what's the other Pride shirt you got? Oh, because I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it fit.
It's amazing. It's just like the Palestinian, suffering in the Gaza. The media never covers. They never cover this either. It's one of those subjects. So, people that are that know about what's going on in Gaza, leftists, don't know about this at all because they believe the same media that they know lie about what's happening to the Palestinians.
Fit me. I can put it on stream. If I go downstairs again, I'll bring it upstairs and I'll show you guys the way it looks. But yeah, I don't like it. But I'll show you guys. Why not? Do it? Yeah, sure. It's super tight. It's not. If it was, I'd be wearing it. I think in the next 5 or 10 months, from how it's going. Yeah, think about, and this is the thing, like if we've had this many stabbings recently, and you have this many of these migrants and these crazy people that are around in these countries, it's only a matter of time that this is going to get a lot worse.
Yes.
It is. It's going to get a lot fucking worse because they're going to keep doing stabbings. They're going to keep doing beheadings. It's because they can't stop themselves. They're psychos. The Reddit, you can check the Reddit comments before they ban everyone. Oh no. Oh, there's a Reddit post about this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's why I like watching Asmongold about these topics. Is he has a huge chat that can quickly point him in interesting directions.
Girl 17 stabbed in the neck in Lancaster street attack. Yikes. The footage has gone a tad viral on X. It's brutal, the poor girl. And yes, the suspect is someone who could set off more riots if the girl had died. I don't think it matters if he died or not, or she died or not. I don't think it makes a difference.
The fact that he tried to kill her is what's important.
Yeah, Reddit's cracking. Well, Reddit, the thing is that, again, Reddit is actually very right-wing. Reddit is extremely right-wing. The only reason why you don't see that is because Reddit is overly censored. It is massively and insanely overly censored.
Absolutely. Like, I never post on there about anything controversial because I know I'd just get banned. Because just common sense gets banned on Reddit.
So the only reason why you're not getting posts about me being right about everything, of course, is because they get banned. That's the reason why.
Also, it wouldn't be posts about you being right about everything. There's other people that have the same opinions as you, and you can't take credit for, like, ideas that the... Like, I was anti the woke stuff long before you were. So...
That's it. Like British media, the Reddit supermods are hyper leftist. Well, it's the company that's leftist. That's the problem. The company is allowing this, and the company facilitates it. Like we had Reddit admins. The admins are the employees breathing down our neck at our subreddit because of that.
That's why Asmongold's subreddit is, it's moderated, not in a way Asmongold would want, because he has to do it that way.
Okay. That's a short article. I can guess who the attacker might be.
Yes.
And you're right. Ma'am. We need to hold our eyes open and stare. This is an evil of our making. Bullshit it is. One person and one person alone is responsible for that act. We're done with this.
No.
We're done. Nope.
Nope.
Nope, I'm not hearing it. Nope, they're all responsible. The rape gangs, the families knew it. The people let it happen. The communities protect it. Nope, we're done. Yeah, gun control logic? Yeah, I don't think so.
The guy who stabbed Henry Novak, his mother hid the knife and tried to cover it all up. Of course, it's her son, so at some level it's understandable, but he's complicit.
And that poor knife. Yeah, why would the knife do this? The people are allowing it, I know. And this kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. Here's what's funny, is that it's been happening every day for probably 10 years, if not longer than that. The reason why you're hearing about it now is because now the controls and this is the reason why they're going after.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. The UK grooming gang story broke in 2003. That was when the first big news report covering the topic showed up with many witness testimonies. And it's been, ever since then, it's been covered up by the media, the police, politicians, the hospitals where the girls go.
For Elon Musk so much. You have to understand that basically, like, this is a pipeline, and Elon Musk opened the pipe. So basically,
it was already breaking. Elon Musk accelerated things, and yes, he hugely positive force, but the media narrative was breaking down even before that. And I point to you, Asmongold, as an example. You weren't covering politics before COVID. You started covering it afterwards. And even if Elon Musk hasn't bought Twitter, you would still have been covering politics. You would have still been a vector where all of this spreads, all this information spreads that the media can't control. Of course, Twitter helps if you have Elon Musk retweeting your videos. That just amplifies your reach, and it amplifies basically the now huge alternative media apparatus that exists.
Imagine like there's an entire sewage system, okay? And nobody is letting any of it out because, oh my God, if it gets out, then people will realize how much this whole place smells like shit. But then Elon Musk went and he opened the pipe.
No, it's not that. That is one part of it. But before, I used to watch streamers. I started really watching streamers during the Among Us days, during COVID, of course. And back then, very few streamers at all covered politics in any way. And if they did, it was just culture war stuff. But since then, like, not just Asmongold, Linux Taku, Leaflet, Powder, you have a whole bunch of streamers that are, yes, they're covering culture war stuff, but they're also covering other subjects. Like Leaflet definitely covers immigration and all that. Yeah, before you didn't have that. Asmongold, his shift to cover politics, a lot of other streamers that want to be successful copied him. And now you have a pretty vibrant alternative media in the form of streamers and their videos uploaded to YouTube.
He opened it up and he let people on Twitter express what they really think. And that's the reason why Elon is public enemy number one. That's the reason why this dude can make Neuralink so paraplegics can fucking walk. He can make spaceships.
But I shouldn't underplay what Elon Musk did either. It's huge impact. I'm just saying it was the shift of streamers to cover politics. That was practically as big as Elon Musk making Twitter free. So it wasn't just Elon Musk. This was a whole range of factors. And then you have, because of COVID, a huge number of people distrusting media more and hungry for alternative views. So falling trust in media also amplifies all this. Convergence of factors leading to mainstream media being far less effective.
They can go to the moon. He can do electronic cars that can hopefully reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. He can, do any of these other things like the Boring Company, make a flamethrower, the Cybertruck, right? All these things. He can do all of these things, and he is still their mortal enemy because he is doing the one thing that they can't allow. He's allowing people to speak their minds.
Europe is trying so hard to censor X and pressure it to censor, hate speech, quote unquote, which is reporting, for example, this 17-year-old getting stabbed. That's hate speech because people might see that and have a negative view of migrants after that. It's insane. It's just like reporting reality is hate speech because reality makes people bigoted.
And that is the one thing that they cannot allow. You can't allow freedom of speech Because if you do, then you're going to have people talking about this stuff. That's the reason why. That's the reason why all of these people are going after Elon. That's the reason why all of them hate Elon and they want to go after him and try to damage him, you know, like bait assassinations on him and bullshit like this, like hate him for being rich. They're trying to assign an evil in order to hopefully damage his reputation and make people less likely to use his social media network. Here's another great example of this happening. How many times do you remember, like, every single...
They tried lots of things against X and Elon. They remember the advertiser boycott of X that he had to sue about to get that lifted? Yeah. And then all media going after X. And, yeah, of course, the EU going after Elon and X. They do not like Free X, the establishment, those trying to keep all these stories under wrap.
Mainstream media publication that's gassing up Threads or even talking positively about Blue Sky. Why would they do that? Why would so many of these other companies that are media companies talk so positively about a private social media company? Why would that happen? It's because they're upset that the media has lost control of the narrative. They have completely lost control of the narrative. This has been going on for a decade. And I've been hearing about it because I used to hear about it from my mom. She would tell me about this. But, you know, now I see it myself. Ever since, controlled speech on those platforms, they have to control speech. Because if they don't control speech, what is this here? Half of the Facebook comments on political posts are people talking about killing each other or how they deserve to be killed, not speaking about that. Well, exactly, right? They call you many things, but never wrong. Another migrant attack in Italy, beheaded a woman. I think that one happened in February, okay? Like, yeah, so that was a while ago. Oh my God. And then there's the guy. Imagine this fucking barbarian is running after you with a knife and you're just some 17-year-old girl and he's stabbing you and trying to cut your throat open. Oh my God.
Why? I mean,
really? He's Algerian? He's not British. I'll tell you that. The Italy one was yesterday. It got talked. Knives were banned in the UK, by the way. Well, then how did he have a knife if it was banned? Wait.
Ban on knife is so stupid. I guess you can do stop and frisk and try to find knives, but you need knives for cooking. You need knives for all types of things. You can't actually ban knives. I mean, the stores, you can't ban stores from selling knives because the economy would collapse. Or, I mean, you couldn't cook anymore.
No, that can't be right. Well, how could he have... No, because... So how... I thought they banned knives. Well, then how do people have knives? This is outrageous.
By the way, ban knives is walking around the streets with the knives. You're allowed to have knives in your house, I think, and for cooking, etc.
I predict a larger push for gun ownership in the West. Guys, it's the same thing with the ninja swords. You don't need to get rid of the ninja swords. You need to get rid of the ninjas. That's the reality. Everybody knows it. Mm-hmm. It's not the guns. It's not the knives. It's not the ninja swords. It's the people using them. That's the problem.
Yes.
I don't understand how this isn't obvious. Oh my God. 100% correct. Yes, definitely. And this is why they want to ban X, so you can't say these things anymore. This is the reason. Yes, they don't want people to see this. And so...
Also, X, I will admit, it was for Tucker Carlson, for him to be able to have his show on X. It's a platform for your videos. Even if YouTube bans you, you can still put them there. It's another alternative that's huge besides Rumble.
Where is... I'm going to just be retarded for a minute here. It's in the UK. Okay, it's in the UK. All right, that's good, because I legitimately had no idea. Okay, let me see. Can I pull the other ones up? Armed police called there. Is this the police? No, that's not it either. Holy shit. These tribalistic fucks think that disrespecting someone is an excuse for murder. Well, I have no idea why, right? I don't know. But I do know this needs to... And also, by the way, this will continue to happen. It will continue to get worse. And over time...
in the places these people come from, if you get disrespected, you need to get violent. Otherwise, you're going to be seen as weak and preyed upon. And so if you get disrespected, even if the other person didn't intend it or whatever, they feel it's their right to take violent retribution and try to behead someone. And even if you come from... But problem is, in the UK, these people come from such a different culture. People in the UK might be disrespecting them without knowing it. And,
I think that people will finally realize that you can't put up with this. You can't. And I also think that this problem will be solved. And the people in Europe have the option to solve this problem with...
It will be solved. I agree.
Somebody moderate like Rupert Lowe, or with somebody else.
In other words, you can solve it now reasonably, or it will happen later after the dollar collapses, EU and pound with it, and you're going to get someone really extreme, and there's going to be really extreme solutions to it. Like, there will be no attempt to sort out the good from the bad. Just everyone will be deported.
And I guarantee you that probably, I don't know if it's going to be the next person after him. It might be the next person after that. The next person after that isn't going to be asking for deportations. They're not. I think they would be very wise, very, very wise, to just vote for Restore Britain and allow this to resolve itself without there being any sort of...
Yeah, there's also that possibility, which is a violent solution. But I think deportations will still the preferred way. Even, I'm hoping we reach the point where even when we get to the extreme point, it's just rounding people up and mass deportation without... But maybe Asmongold is right with how far it might go. We did get Hitler after the hyperinflation in Germany in the 1920s.
Crazy shit happening. Because it's going to get a lot worse. There's no world that we can live in where there are random barbarians, shirtless barbarians with knives, running around trying to stab and cut the throats of 17-year-old girls. This is not sustainable. We all know this isn't sustainable. Yes. Everybody knows this. But for some reason, people don't want to talk.
Even if you give someone a choice, you can let 10 people into the country, but one of them is going to be one of these crazies that attacks people with knives. I think even leftists would say, don't let those 10 people into the country. 9 non-violent for 1 extreme violence, even that ratio, it's your country's better off without all 10.
Talk about it. The sympathizers need to go too. Oh, if you get that third or second person, you have no idea. And yeah. And anyway, people used to assimilate in the culture they migrate to. I don't know. Smoke to retire. I totally agree with you. Dan Bro, you got a platform. Want to see you tomorrow? Well, I'm not saying it's a good thing. Like that's the entire reason why I'm advocating for it. Like I don't want to have any sort of like crazy, really extreme like violence or like executions and shit, except for these people, right? Like I mean, obviously, I want to.
Yeah, the absolute criminals that have hurt, murdered, and raped people. Yes, there I'm all for extreme and violent, legally, executions type solutions. But the rest of them, I'd just deport them.
I see them like nobody else. But what I'm saying is that if you push people to a limit, they will resort to that. They will go to that level. And I know that's true because how do I know that? Because that every history event proves that. Like it's obvious this is what happens. Is that like when things continue getting worse, you will have a tipping point where they get so bad that people will accept a medieval solution to them. Like this is something that happened in medieval ages, and it's something that happened, in today's day and age too. It's not like we have.
And the elite politicians that let all these people into the country, I think they'll have to flee the UK, or their end might not be pretty, if it gets to the point he's talking about.
There's a big fallacy that I think a lot of people in the modern age have, that we have advanced beyond our inclinations. The truth is that the human being has been evolved for, let's say, like 200,000 years, okay?
I just point you to Israel as an example of why that's not true. It's as modern society, a very wealthy, with all this money, and it's absolutely brutal what the IDF does, and and what our CIA does. No, we haven't evolved beyond it, not at all.
Do you really think that we've made that much progress, like on a biological level, in 500 years? No, of course not. So the same barbarians and the same psychos that were going around 1,000 years ago and decapitating entire villages, that's basically what we still are. That's pretty much the same thing. We're
under the right scenario.
We're the same thing. And that is right underneath the surface. And I think that, by the way, and here's proof. Intrusive thoughts are the proof of that. Think about what those mean. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bullshit like ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm like 100 years. Yes, exactly. And what do you consider the government is spraying or injecting things in people to make them docile? I don't think that's really happening, right? Modern life carries a more deterministic outlook to every corner of our society. Look at modern science and justice system, no free will outlook. Yeah, I know that. It's very problematic. And anyway, so I stopped a few felonies right in the frontal lobe. Oh, wow. And that's crazy. I forgot that you can do that. Footage shows the beast. Thank God. Thank God we're talking about him like that. Oh, man. Oh, man. There are rules that make us civilized human beings. Following them is very important. There are rules that make us civilized human beings. Following them is very important. I think that that's not really true. I think that if you look at the fact that we bombed Japan and we just vaporized...
Yeah, I think that's what we aspire to. And, but there are situations so wrong that violence is necessary. In a perfect world, that's what our belief should be, but we don't live in a perfect world.
Women and children. It's really not true. We bombed Dresden. We killed thousands of innocent people. Like, it's not true. Like, I mean, it's just not. Like, and we would easily do that again. We would instantaneously do that again. Israel blowing up apartment buildings and leveling Gaza. Do you think that America wouldn't do that? The only difference is that America, there wouldn't be anybody left. If China did that, there wouldn't be anybody left. Like, the entire idea of every single page of history disagrees with you. It's just not the way the world works. They don't follow the rules. Yeah. Yeah, those rules in the 1930s, too. We all know how that went. The chatter's an idiot. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. And they firebombed thousands of blonde-haired blue-eyed girls in Dresden. Yeah, exactly. And Tommy Robinson's a Russian shill. Okay, well, he's still right about this. Yeah, he's totally right about what he's saying here. And
a Russian shill. I'm probably what these people consider a Russian shill, too, in that I actually know the real history behind the Ukraine war, and Ukraine's not the good guy.
I'm glad to see him talking about it. Yeah, let me see if I can find a few more of the other posts about this too, because this is pretty crazy. Especially you see something like this happen right now in the middle of this, right? Holy fucking shit, man! Oh my God, 17-year-old girl in critical condition. Some people are saying that she's in critical condition. Some people are not. So I'll read some more of the posts on Reddit. Right, I'm getting distracted. The only argument I have against it, I don't think Israel would be able to do it without us. That's all I have. I 100% support Israel defending itself. I will always side with Israel over foreign terrorists, like that every single time.
Yes. So all Israel has to do is convince you, Asmongold, that X population is terrorists, and then you will let them do whatever they want against those terrorists. And do you know that Netanyahu funded Hamas to the tune of $1.3 billion via Qatar cash going to the IDF, and then the IDF brought those suitcases full of cash to Hamas. So Israel funded those you consider terrorists. And then it uses the actions of those terrorists to do all kinds of violence against people in Gaza. Is that... Yeah, you just declared your intention to be completely manipulated by Israel going forwards. That's what you did, Asmongold.
But, what I really side with is America. I don't want to side with Israel. I don't want to side with the foreign terrorists. I don't want to be over there at all. That's my opinion, okay? Sorry, guys. And, again... A lot of people's hate for Israel is just hate for the West. That's it. They just don't want the West and that projection of power in that area. Israel's more advanced than you think because of us? Yeah. And this kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. And no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Sorry, you're right. It's every few days. Yeah, like, who is this guy? Who are you defending? Footage for this is appalling. I predict more violence, sadly. It will be necessary. It will. If they don't allow people to get rid of this democratically, it will be necessary. That's what's going to happen. And we wouldn't have wealth. It wasn't for that system. Let's be real honest. Which wealth? About like video games? I'm confused by that. And also, like, nobody would have any of these things that they have if they weren't, if it weren't for the West, right? I think that's true. Absolutely. You can't watch the video. Does it look like they know each other? I'm Canadian, so I admittedly might not have the best picture here, but it seems like you guys are sleepwalking into something ugly. Even Reddit is beginning to realize.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Reality can be very radicalizing, and if you're a moderator, you're seeing these stories if you're deleting them, and you keep seeing them enough, and you'll be radicalized too.
Oh man, you have no idea. Something happened in France to an 86-year-old grandmother. Her throat was slit. I didn't see that one. Right? We can't see all of these. Of y'all, how can you say all the hate towards Israel is just because we hate the West? What is this here? You know what? I literally don't care about what your opinions are on Israel. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about what's happening in the wars in the Middle East. I'm an American. I care about what's happening in America and Western countries. That's really what I care about. So like any of this other stuff, you can get into it and argue about it. I don't want to argue about this one way or another. The Sand Wars, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There is apparent footage circulating of this, and I urge you not to. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Similarly, there are photos of the alleged attacker. Don't look at the photo. You don't want to look. Oh, no, you can't see that. Oh, my God. What is wrong with these people? Holy shit. Yeah, it's not even graphic. No, it's not that bad at all. And anyway, there are photos. Some girls fighting for her life in the UK state says, be careful what you watch and share. You only care about censoring what's happening in the country. People are realizing this, and it's not normal. People need to see what horrifying things people will do. Yep. Why on earth would anyone need to see some poor child stabbed in the neck? The reason why you need to see it for yourself is so you know that it's real. A lot of the problems...
Yes, you have to see it to confirm it's real. It's these days where there's all types of bullshit being made up by both sides. You have to confirm the reality yourself. The reality of the situation that this girl was stabbed, it should form your views, not more than the rhetoric
that we have in the country now, and I think that in culture, is that people don't actually believe in evil. They think that evil is like a Marvel movie, and it's actually like, somebody has some kind of greater goal. They have, there's like they're misunderstood. And people have always had a big problem with the, and this is even something that's biblical, because I even asked my mom about this, and she was like, this is the mystery of evil. Why are people like this? Nobody really knows. Nobody really has like a definitive, it's the demons, they're possessed, it's X, Y, or Z. We don't really know why. That's the truth. We don't. I mean, you could say it's genetic. You could say that it's...
I not on the genetic side. I'm on your environment shapes these people. If you come from, like the guy who tried to behead someone, I bet you he saw someone being beheaded at some point earlier in his life. That he comes from somewhere where, in a part of the world where beheadings happen fairly regularly, and that someone in UK who's grown up in UK would not have been around that and would be not prone to even trying that. It would not even enter their mind as a possibility. And so we already, just where you're from, the culture you grew up in, it has a huge impact on what you think is acceptable or possible to do. Versus, and yeah, if you come from somewhere where knife violence is normalized, then in your entire way of life that was indoctrinated into your mind, you'll be much more prone to knife violence going forwards, no matter where you move to in the future.
Mental, you could say that it's socioeconomic conditions, and I think that all of them are probably right to an extent, right? But the truth is that it is a mystery to us. People need to see it so they know that it's real. Because until you see it for yourself, many of these people don't believe it. There's the old saying, seeing is believing. Well, after AI, I think that we need a new saying. But I think that the old saying is popular for a reason. It's because people want to see this stuff so they can truly believe it, and they know that it's legitimate. And I think that's what's happening.
Seeing is believing still applies to anything you see in the real world with your own eyes. On Twitter, yeah, the video's there. Not so much anymore, but...
Yeah, that's demonic and knowledge a lot. Where's my thing? I gotta open up another one of these. Oh no, did I lose my pliers? No, I didn't. They're on the floor. Okay, we're fine. Also experiencing the same shit as a local scale. Yeah, and also keep in mind too, this is another thing, is that the people that are doing this, they want you to live in delusion. They want you to live inside of a fantasy world, and they're trying to create this fantasy world by not allowing you to look at these different things that are happening. They want you to be misled. And they want you to not know that this is happening.
He's opening a bottle with pliers?
I'm pretty good at this, man. I've been doing this for like a couple of days now. This is good.
This is extreme form of laziness. Not willing to find or buy a bottle opener and then just using pliers.
Wow. Look at me. I could have just ordered a bottle opener, but I have pliers, so I don't really need to do that. No, we're fine. Okay. I was like, why would I do that if I don't have to? And what is this here? According to Hindu logic, evil is mainly due to arrogance and anger and the upbringing of the person, which kind of makes sense. My opinion about it, I guess I can give you, Jesus, will I get in trouble for this?
it's also the amount of violence you've seen in your life, even if it wasn't directed at you. If you came from a society where you've seen girls get stabbed like this or people get stabbed like this multiple times, and every time some of them might have been people you knew or friends with, and they didn't deserve this, and you just see it happen enough, you come to believe this is just a world where, shit happens. It's not a good world, and doing stabbing people yourself. So why shouldn't you? Everyone else is doing it. It affects you. What you see during your lives does affect it. You might have a deep anger at the world if people you love die to, like, random violence, and that anger makes you more prone to lashing out yourself. Basically, what I'm saying, people from third world countries that are shitholes where violence is everywhere, yeah, they're more prone to violence. You let them come to UK or whatever, yeah, they're still going to be more prone to violence. It doesn't change. That's how they grew up. And might make not them evil per se, but it makes them dangerous. They become evil after they commit the acts. Before they commit the acts, they're just a potential danger. More prone to violence. And if they give in to those violence tendencies, then they become evil.
My opinion about why people are like this is really, really, really bad. Basically, I will say what I think I can say.
I have said, I don't know about you as we go, but I have said why, right there, why I believe it happens. It's where you grow up. This one who stabbed the girl, his skin is white, or pretty much nearly white. The person who was beheading yesterday, he was black. So it's not skin color that's the determination of this. It's the places they come from is the biggest determination from this. There are black people that can come from somewhere that's not a violent shithole, and they won't be violent like the ones that come from like in Libya. In Libya, they have slave markets. They have beheadings on the street. They have all this stuff. And all the migrants coming from Africa, or a good portion of them, go through Libya on the way to Europe. Even if their home place wasn't this type of violent shithole, they've experienced it on the way. They will be more prone to violence than someone just born in Europe.
I think they're born with it. I do. I think some people spawn in and they're just fucked. They're fucked. They're totally, totally deranged.
I will add, there's some people that, of course, can be that. There's some people just are, like, even in the West, we have serial killers. Before this mass migration thing, we have someone like Jack the Ripper. They existed before migration. Doesn't matter your skin color or where you're from, some people are just born evil.
There's something wrong with them on a very deep, profound level. And as soon as we acknowledge that, we can treat them the way that they should be treated, which is being isolated from society and treated, like a dangerous animal, because that's it. There's a study supporting your take. Well, it's obvious. It's obvious that's what's happening. In nature and nurture? Yeah, but I think that nurture...
Both, without a doubt. Yeah, there's some people that are violent, and you can look at their history, and it cannot be explained. So, in those cases, probably just born evil. Then there's other cases where the person that abused children, you look into the history, and you find out he was abused. It's not an accident that happens very often, that the abused become abusers. So the person's upbringing does shape who they are also.
Is a bigger part than people make it out to be. I do. I think it's actually quite a large part. And so anyway, yeah, people. So he didn't even want people to see this. And no, people don't. It violates the dignity of the victim. It runs the risk of their family. It violates the dignity of the victim. This is all bullshit, by the way. I guarantee you, if it was basically, if it was a racist attack that was the other way around, you probably wouldn't be saying this. The real reason why they're saying this and they're high-roading is because this might go against what their programming is. Yeah, Pepper Pig shit? I guess so, right? 100% is done to understand. Otherwise, yeah. Why does evil have to be cleared? Ostracize cognitive dissonance from society? I don't know what you mean by that. You have to be more specific. And, well, you're born in society, so explain that. I don't know what you mean by that. A guy researching sociopaths tested himself and found out that he was a sociopath with APD, yet he was well-adjusted. People were predisposed. Yeah, there are...
Just read these comments.
People that, for example,
It's penetrating even Reddit. The reality can be radicalizing.
Like, most kids don't light cats on fire and torture them and kill them, but some kids do.
Yep.
That's not society. That's biological. There's something just profoundly wrong with those people, right? That's it. And I think that really the idea, like there's a blank slate fantasy that everybody can be anything as long as the situation is right. Well, no, absolutely not. Of course not. And it's not even close.
Yes and no. In some cases, everyone is born in blank slate, as in they have no crimes when they're born. And some people might be overwhelmingly prone to committing crimes, but I don't think there's any absolutes anyway. So it's majority of people are a blank slate. There are some few cases where they are overwhelmingly prone to violence or to evil, but even those cases, it isn't absolute. I tend to not believe in any absolutes in the world.
Explain PTSD. I'm not a psychologist. I have no
Except stuff like gravity.
idea. Hurt people. Why do you assume that? There are plenty of people that are murderers and evil who are actually just totally fine. Their lives are totally okay. There's no evil origin story. They just like killing people. They like torturing people. Why is it why is it crazy for you that there are people that have every other interest in the world, but one interest?
And yeah, I also have to add, there is also the opposite. People that are not prone to violence, that sometimes can be dragged into it. Like, let's say Epstein. Let's say you got to meet Epstein at a party. Right there, your likelihood of committing crimes has shot up enormously. And Epstein invites you to his private island. Yeah, it's there, and you don't know what's going on at private island when you go there. You only find out when you arrive. And the crimes of opportunity, or there's crimes that you're pressured into, and once you start falling down the rabbit hole, and someone like Epstein's around you to drag you deeper, you can become fully one of the Epstein crowds, although you wouldn't have ever gone down that path if you never met Epstein. Not that I think we should forgive anyone who let themselves be dragged down there. I'm just acknowledging the reality that, yeah, sometimes people are dragged down to hell. But if you let that happen and young girls are hurt, yep, you deserve what's coming to you.
You can't manifest the idea that one of those interests could be killing and torturing people. People like knitting, they like tailoring, they like woodworking, they like metalworking, they like playing video games, they like watching TV, they like exercising, they like driving. Are you really going to tell me that it's so unthinkable that a small handful of people will enjoy murder? Come on. I mean, really, it's just so delusional.
I am of the belief that humans can learn to love anything under the right conditions. Like there are humans that like things like scat and all kinds of weird fetishes that way. And I think depending on how it's presented to you, how you run into it, yeah, anyone could learn to love murder. And anyone, and I mean even you that's listening to this that don't think it's possible for you, just put it in the scenario where it's bringing someone absolutely terrible to justice, and there's no shot of doing it like someone like Epstein or worse, and you have a chance to take care of them when they're going to escape the law. I mean, under the right scenario, anyone can enjoy murder. Even good people.
Like Carmelo Anthony, I think he was just an idiot, right? That's an unsettling thought. It's not unsettling. It's just true. That's the way it is. Video games prove that? Yeah.
Add to the example, if murdering someone would save lives, and you know people will die if you don't do it. You start to get to the point where even good people would do it.
Those guys in chat is what bad things is human nature. Yeah, anyway, that's what I think. And let me scroll. Look at a few more of these.
War is murder, and anyone can become a soldier in war.
Gone a tad viral. Oh boy. And just give it a description. Let me see here if I find it. And if you have seen the footage, then stop being cryptic and just give out a description of what happened, because all you're doing is making people believe the attacker was not white and seeking out the video themselves. You're actually making a very... What does that have to do with? Why are you worried? You're.
A girl is walking hood up in the street. A man who is seemingly of black ethnicity in a green tracksuit runs up behind her and grabs her, stabs her in the neck twice. He lets her go and she recoils a bit in shock, it looks like. Then she runs off. He gestures a little as she runs off before slowly walking in her general direction with the knife still in hand. So that is the description of the video if you need it.
Making a shitty situation worse. Yeah, the guy doesn't look white. Oh my, yeah, again, they want to hide the truth. They do. I'm Canadian. I told you guys, our left insists anyone who speaks up against importing these people as racist and attempts to cancel them. If we're just going to go to extremes, we've seen the last week, pogroms and NI, yeah, exactly, is openly whipping up people for migration, like some scenes at the National Front. Well, then they should leave. That's what I think they should do. They should get the fuck out. They're not supposed to be in Britain. Should have never been here in the first place. This is a problem engineered by the government. And not where I live. I wonder why there's no description of the perpetrator. I don't want to see the video. Not many outlets reporting on this. Part and parcel. It's time for thoughts and prayers.
Not many outlets reporting on this. Always. The media is the enemy. Media doesn't report on like the crimes Israel commits. It doesn't report on crimes migrants commit. And a whole other range of blacklisted topics.
The mods will block comments soon, and there's a reason why. Don't let the government and these suicidal, empathetic people control the narrative. Comment removed by moderator. Wow. Well, there it is, guys. The only people that are actually going to leave the country voluntarily are the ones that would never do this. The bad actors will remain. Well, I mean, again, the problem, and you have to understand that some of the bad actors
is getting these people out of the country.
Here, let me give you a good example of this, right? And I saw this the other day. Let me go and pull this up. I thought this was a very interesting and extremely predictable turn of events. So do you remember this guy? He's obviously clearly gotten older. Do you remember him from a couple of days ago talking about how racist and evil the country was? How racist and bad Britain was?
Yeah.
Remember him?
A situation where a young girl in Dundee, the city that I'm speaking to you from, took out bladed weapons. 2 weapons, a knife and a small axe.
And was seen on. Let me show you what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the young girl who had the temerity to try to defend herself or to threaten away the migrant that was trying to abuse her.
He's talking about this girl right here. The Skyrim girl? Yes, the Skyrim girl. So this is him discussing this topic. Just in case anybody forgot.
Video. And let me be clear, that young girl is also a victim of failure. No, this is not, and of course we can say
she's victim of failure, the failure of the UK to not stop all these crazy migrants from coming into the country.
Anybody should know not to carry weapons and so on, but look, that...
Yes, like the migrant who just stabbed the 17-year-old girl twice in the neck, yeah, like that guy, or like the guy who tried to behead the man just the day before yesterday. Yep.
She's defending herself against a migrant that was attacking and trying to make her and her little sister. 12-year-old girl in Scotland pulls a knife and axe out against men filming her in Scotland. Removed by moderator.
Yep. That's Reddit. That's Reddit for you.
If he's the hero gathering evidence of young teens about stating lethal weapons. Given that she has been arrested, it was most likely option 1. This was 10 months ago. This is what Reddit allows. What the fuck? And I want to make it one thing extremely clear. My goal with talking about this stuff is to radicalize people as much as possible.
Same here.
I show this and I portray this stuff in the most extreme and negative way so I can make people angry and they'll be willing to fight.
I'm not even doing that. I'm just reporting the truth. The truth is radicalizing. It's... I'm not toning it down, if that's what Asmongold means, but I don't think I'm toning it up. Particularly, it is a man coming from behind and stabbing a 17-year-old twice in the neck. Just reporting the facts. It's not radicalizing. It is radicalizing. Sorry, it's not. I'm not manipulating things. I'm not lying about what happened or exaggerating about what happened.
Follow the solutions that I want them to follow, and because I don't want people to get this confused. I have a very clear goal with the way that I express this stuff.
young person undoubtedly has a significant amount of trauma in her life. I can guarantee that without knowing fully her circumstances. But
The problem is you have a UK where young girls don't feel safe walking the streets without arming themselves.
of course, Elon Musk, Tommy Robinson, and others, sympathisers of the far right, begin to spread misinformation that flies around the world like wildfire. That this young girl was defending her sister from a man who wanted to a migrant, who wanted to sexually assault her.
Which was proven in court later on.
Yep.
See? He's actually going around and saying that this girl, who is just totally fucking terrified, running away with her even younger sister, avoiding this migrant who's been following him, this is the person. And I'm going to play his new video after this. You're going to see what this is like.
And of course, that's why we needed all Pakistanis, Muslims, and people
I say get this one guy out of the country too, even if he's UK citizen.
of colour out of this country. Was then
Get to the joys of living with Pakistanis, the full experience in Pakistan.
what was followed on. Of course, none of that was true. The police put out a statement yesterday saying that a Bulgarian couple, so European migrants, were approached by the youths, not the other way around.
You see, this was just a good migrant boy that was trying to do his best, and then these horrible, racist, evil 12-year-old girls tried to run after him and kill him.
Except in the video the migrant filmed himself, he was following the girls. The girls weren't coming to him. He was going to them.
That's what happened. Brother and sister, this happened 1 day ago. So it finally got it finally got released, right? Brother and sister guilty of attacking girls in Dundee. Claimed he confronted the girls after receiving abusive remarks. What is this here? Admitting assaulting a 13-year-old girl. Wow. So he's just lying. He's lying and making this up in order to basically run defense. Yep.
And having reviewed the CCTV and having investigated further, the allegations made against the individuals, the migrant couple, were false.
So let's scroll down and see how he was talking yesterday, or the day before. Because I want y'all to see the difference here.
It's hard to shake off the feeling of how sick I feel watching the scenes that we've witnessed over the last couple of days in Belfast, Glasgow, and up and down the country. In 2026, we're witnessing people's houses being burnt to the ground because of the colour of their skin. Worshippers being told not to leave
Oh, he's not talking about any of the crimes that sparked this anger. That's nice.
the mosque because there's masked men on the rampage in the streets of Glasgow.
Damn.
And of course, we witnessed riots in recent
This is the exact same person that was running defense for a guy that was sexually pursuing a 14 and a 12-year-old girl. This was less than a year ago. This is why I said before, never give these people even 1% of sympathy. To the extent that they suffer, ask yourself why it's not worse.
years in Southport and Southampton, and they don't happen in a vacuum. They happen
Awful.
in part because
of people like you.
Terrible people. Anybody that was defending this.
politicians like Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe, they deliberately pour a gallon of fuel on the flames of religious.
No, it's reality that's pouring a gallon of fuel. It's the migrants that tried to behead a man before yesterday and then stabbed a 17-year-old girl today. That's what's radicalizing and pouring fuel on fire. Reality.
And racial divisions.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, what happened to Stephen Ogilvie in Belfast?
Help me understand how someone can be so fucked in the head. It's just tribal alignment. It's tribal alignment and them using Western values as a basically disguise for them to push their continued stuff.
Yep.
It's horrific. I personally hope the perpetrator spends a long, long time in jail.
This someone probably knows about UK grooming gangs, has been running cover for the UK grooming gangs for years.
Oh,
But why is it when an ethnic minority commits a crime, every single minority then has to brace themselves for possible revenge?
Because when a minority commits a crime, you go out there and you defend them by making up bullshit and thinking that the
Yes, you are implicated in the crime by defending those committing crimes.
migrant was actually being attacked by a 12 and a 14-year-old girl as they were trying to run away from him. And then they found out that actually they were the ones being attacked the entire time, and it was a lie. That's the reason why.
Yep.
You get treated like a tribe because you act like a tribe.
attacks. That doesn't happen, quite rightly, when a white person commits a crime. When Paul Doyle mows down Liverpool fans, or
Because you don't have white. This is what I said yesterday. I don't want to go through all of it. You don't have white people going and defending this.
horrific rape against an Asian woman believing she was Muslim. White men don't suddenly fear that their communities, their families, their places of worship. Well,
And I want you to understand that people like him are actually more dangerous and problematic than the actual violent criminals. Because people like him are trying to communicate and push messaging and actually continue. Like, he's trying to spawn thousands of these people into the country.
Yes, he's trying to bring more of them. He knows about UK grooming gangs, and he still wants more Pakistanis in the UK.
Individual criminals are just some random idiot. He does something bad, he kills somebody, and then we put him in jail, and then that's it, right? But people like him are the real problem. They're the real enablers. They're the ones that should be the main focus. They're normalizing it. They're normalizing it, defending it, rationalizing it, justifying it, running defense for it, and everything else. It's important to keep this in mind.
Yes, agreed.
targeted. Again, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. The politicians who often cause that fear and division do so deliberately and then say it was nothing to do with them. So
These
it
are radical
remains for the
extremists?
rest
Yes.
of us to stand up against those who seek to divide communities, turn neighbour on neighbour. The worry is that if Nigel Farage ends up in number 10, then the scenes we witness over the last few days, they won't be one-off, but they'll be the everyday reality.
He's not extreme enough,
so many people.
Farage.
And we can't let that happen.
This young girl was defending her sister from a man who wanted to a migrant, who wanted to sexually assault her. And of course, that's why we needed all Pakistanis, Muslims, and people of colour out of this country, was then what was followed on. Of course, none of that was true. The police put out a statement yesterday saying that a Bulgarian couple, so European migrants, were approached by the youths, not the other way around, and having reviewed the CCTV and having investigated further, the allegations.
Yep, I am in agreement with Asmongold on this topic. Nearly 100%, probably 100%. We need mass deportations. That's how you solve this. That's how you get these horrific knife crimes to stop. Is you get rid of the people committing them. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Anyway, this will be on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Come watch on Kick or Twitch, and I'll see you next video. Bye.